Hey everyone, this is my first booktube video. I've wanted to make a booktube for a very long time. Um, Basically, I've created other videos, I've even edited other videos, I just never uploaded them. And today's the day I'm gonna go ahead and upload them. I've been watching the Reading Rush activities and I just kind of want to get involved finally. So yesterday was day 4 and I just decided I'm gonna join. Better late than never. Um, the first book that I read, and I think I started this on the first day of the Reading Rush, I just didn't mentally realize that I was taking part of the Reading Rush until last night, was The Family Upstairs. And The Family Upstairs meets the task. Read a book with "the" in the title. Basically, The Family Upstairs is about a group of people, 2 women and a man, and they're kind of reflecting on their lives and like where they're at now and where they were at in the past, and the mystery behind them is revealed, and you see how they are connected in different ways. And that's just all I'm going to say about that. I thought it was pretty good. I believe I marked it as a 4 out of 5 on my Goodreads. um, yeah, I like the twists and turns of it. I thought it was very well written, and yeah, I liked the connections. I enjoyed that. The second book I read last night, I read 2 in one night, trying to catch up on this Reading Rush thing, was Scottish Folktales for Children. Now, this book was picked up for me in Scotland when my mom went to Scotland. Was it a few years, like 2 or 3 years ago? Basically, it's a collection of short Scottish folk tales about fairy, about witches, about water horses, lots of Scottish lore. It was a lot of fun to read. I read it in probably a little longer than an hour. It's something that I would reread again just for the Scottish folktales. I love the feeling that it gave me. It kind of reminded me of when my dad used to read lore and folktales to me when I was little, and I always wanted to find really good folktale stories that involve the Fae, and this really hit the mark for me. So it's I believe I marked it as a 5 out of 5 on my Goodreads. It was fantastic. Loved all the short stories. Finished it in one sitting. Okay, so the next story that I am reading is here, let me see real quick. Is A Litter of Bones. This was, let's see, this was a book that was offered as a daily deal on Audible one day, and I've been listening to it on Audible. I'm down to, I think, like 90% of the book read. So basically, A Litter of Bones is about a detective who has been haunted by this serial killer that he eventually caught, but he never found all of the victims of this serial killer. And there seems to be somewhat of a copycat happening, and a boy goes missing and he gets involved in the case again. And I'm really liking the book, though there are some really gruesome torture scenes of like a cat, and I think there was like 3 or 4 of them, and one was hard enough to listen to, but to listen to 3 or 4 of them was extremely difficult. And I think we're done with that, but like I said, I'm 90% probably a way through the book, and it has come up 3 or 4 times, and each time it's just really painful to get through, especially being an animal lover. Yeah, so I think I know the way that this is going to end. It's somewhat predictable. It's starting to turn out that way. So yeah, I was enjoying it, but it didn't have as many twists and turns as I would have liked, I guess. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. I'm probably gonna pick up the other 2 books in the series. Another book that I am almost halfway through is another book my mom picked me up when she was in Scotland, and it's Edinburgh After Dark. Now, basically it's kind of like a guidebook or a reference book, and I'm liking it. Some of the things I'm liking, like certain chapters, but the way it's written, it's very dense and there's like a lot of information being thrown at you. Like you go from Egyptian connections to Jerusalem to witch trials to fae to poltergeists and ghosts and spirits, ley lines. I feel like that's all in the first chapter. And I know it's probably just an introduction, but then I read like the next 2 or 3 chapters, and like it'd be cool if maybe the stories were a little bit expanded upon and the information was a little bit expanded upon. But what it is right now is just like I feel like it's throwing things at me and then asking me really bizarre like questions when it comes to trying to wrap up their little section on it. And that's after a few paragraphs. Every few paragraphs it wraps up its little thought or idea or story and starts asking questions like, now, did the devil really visit them? Did I don't know, did she really make a pact with the devil? Did her scars prove something? I don't know. There were some really weird questions in there. I could pull one up right now. Here it is. Oh, and I think it's the one I was trying to quote earlier. If there was a devil, then just exactly what was he up to? I just feel like I'm in one of those 90s sort of TV shows that used to ask those cheesy questions to wrap up the story, like Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. That's kind of what I feel like. And that wouldn't be so bad, but it's done so many times, so it's just kind of getting old in a way. This is probably one of those books that you should put down every once in a while, but I'm trying to finish it in one day because I want to catch up. I mean, this is day 5. I should be already on book 5, but I am gonna be finishing 2 books today, which hopefully will get me up to 4 books. But yeah, like I said, I just wish the stories that they tell would be a little bit more expanded upon and not so just here's some facts, here's some legend part attached to it. Yeah. So since it's like a guidebook as well, like I was wanting to like focus on more different structures. Maybe that's coming, but like if we're focusing on a specific cemetery, maybe it can be expanded. Like this is the cemetery, and have more pictures in there, and like have more than one story that goes with what's happened there. And then like, yeah, that's what I would have wanted from this book. But yeah, I'm behind on all the Instagram challenges as well, but I have an idea of some of the things that I'm going to be doing. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I'm hoping to post more soon.